What up YouTube? How are we feeling today? Hope you're doing great, hope you're doing fantastic. Back with another Division 2 video and back with a monstrous build, guys. Yes, this Darebreaker build is so much fun to play with. You're gonna love LMGs in this game after you've seen this build. This is a full red build, but still have a lot of survivability, as you will see throughout the gameplay that I'm gonna show you in a few seconds. But this is so much fun to play with, guys. I'm in love with the Heartbreaker gear set, and then of course all the additions that they made, and just having a lot of fun on Countdown. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. Just like that like button, get me into that YouTube algorithm. And of course, we are live streaming a lot more nowadays. Hit me up with a follow at Twitch/IamPurePrime. I would love to have you in the community, but enough information, enough intro. Let's dive right into the gameplay and jump into this build. You're gonna have some fun. Enjoy.
I know it's your favorite job. I need you to search the control room and find the server.
Evacuate the facility. 5 minutes to lockdown.
Nice job. You're a pro. Now, just need you to find another server. Whoever said tech support was boring. One more server and you're going to do the system.
Warning, system root. Initiating safety protocol.
Incoming. System
starting with my specialization, guys, using the gunner specialization, and why killing enemies grants 10% extra armor, so that is another extra survivability on there. Of course, we have our every third reload is 50% faster, helps a lot while running LMGs. And of course, we have the 100% armor plus that 30% bonus armor for 10 seconds. And that's why I'm running the gunner specialization. You can use the technician specialization as well, but with the LMG, or at least the LMG that I am using on this build, you cannot run the linked laser pointer. The linked laser pointer can only be equipped on a long range, and this has a short range barrel, so I cannot equip the linked laser pointer on there, but it's pretty easy to hit the headshots to still pulse the enemies. And then starting with my gun, of course, on this dare breaker, we are using the dare. Of course, the named LMG with that perfect flatline on there. Amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse enemies. After 2 kills, applies a pulse to the next target you hit. Went for stability, critical hit chance, the 50 rounds. That's also from the gunner specialization. That's another plus. I forgot all about that. And then the 5% critical hit chance as the last mod on there. Of course, it's maxed out with LMG damage, damage to target out of cover, and damage to armor. And for my secondary gun, we're using the ACS-12, of course. You can use the ACS-12 or the Rock and Roll. The Rock and Roll is for sale this week at the DZ West vendor. So definitely pick it up if you have enough DZ creds, because that gives you that extra 50% ammo capacity. I'm just using this gun to proc my Heartbreaker. I didn't do anything with the attributes, I didn't do anything with the talent. I just went for the accuracy mods on there, but this is the only thing that I'm using it for. Running up to enemies, trying to proc, and then instantly switching over to my dare. And then for the pistol, you can choose whatever you like. I would go for just a weapon that you still don't have proficient yet. So I've been playing with the Mozambique special a little bit. As you can see, proficiency rank 7. I'm never using my handguns. This is just a spot to fill up with guns that I want to upgrade. So let's start with the build. Of course, the Heartbreaker gear set, 15% assault rifle damage, 15% LMG. We're using an LMG, so this comes in clutch. Then we have 3 pieces of 15% weapon handling, and the 4 pieces will give us the Heartstopper talent. For anybody that doesn't know, the headshot applies a pulse for 5 seconds, so you only have to shoot somebody at the head. You don't have to take him out, only do a headshot. They will be pulsed for 5 seconds, and it's easy claps taking him out within that 5 seconds. After that, weapon hits on pulse enemies add a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulse enemies, up to a max stack of 50. 2 stacks are lost each second. I rolled weapon damage on there, critical hit chance, and a critical hit damage mod. Did exactly the same for my holster. Went for a 15% weapon damage, and of course then the critical hit chance. And then exactly the same for the knee pads, 15% weapon damage, 6% critical hit chance up there. I would recommend building up to that, around that 50% critical hit chance. If you reach that threshold, then in my opinion, go over to critical hit damage, stack all the other things in critical hit damage, so you're sure that you're hitting harder when you hit your crit shots. And then, of course, the last piece of this Heartbreaker gear set is my chest. Why the chest? Max BPM as the talent. This increases the max stacks from Heartstopper from 50 to 100. So now, instead of the 50 stacks, I will have 100 stacks. So this gives me 100% bonus armor and 100% extra damage to pulsed enemies. And that's why this build just shred through everything. Just like you saw in the gameplay, you only have to pulse or you only have to shoot on their head. You just have to aim and then hold the trigger down. This has 250 bullets in the mag and you can just shred through a whole group of enemies. This is so much fun and very, very easy to control. As we have that 15% weapon handling for the 3-piece, This helps us control the LMG a little bit better. But this Dare LMG is just a straight laser. It's nothing special to hit those headshots. It's very, very easy. And then just beam everybody down. For my gloves, I'm running the Petrov Defense Contractor's gloves, of course, for the LMG damage, getting an extra 10% LMG damage because we are running an LMG on the build. And of course, for the 8% damage to armor, the multiplicative damage that helps out a lot. Next to that, I rolled that critical hit damage on there. And the last piece of this build, and this is a special one, guys. I'm using GOOO. Why? For the critical hit damage. I could have a little bit higher in attributes. It's not maxed out, but I had 13.6% weapon damage, 10.9% critical hit damage, 5.1% critical hit chance, and then the 12% critical hit damage mod on there. But now we're coming to the talent. And this is Vigilance. We all know Vigilance, this increases the weapon damage by 25%, but when you take damage, disable this buff for 4 seconds. But now guys, here comes the secret, because this Vigilance will still be active if you have your bonus armor. So when you proc your Heartbreaker gear set, you will build up that bonus armor. Because we are using the chest, we have that 100% extra bonus armor. And if your bonus armor gets hit, this will not deactivate Vigilance. I will repeat, this will not deactivate Vigilance. So as long as you have bonus armor, as long as the enemies are shooting your bonus armor, the Vigilance will stay procced. And this is just hands down the best combination to go for. This is why this build hits so hard. I can show you a little bit on the shooting range. But in the countdown mode, it just shreds through everything. Of course, make sure to think about that you have your close range or your long range buffs. The passive buffs that you almost always get from the countdown mode. And or, of course, get buffed by your teammates. So you might see a little bit higher crit shots in the countdown mode than you see in normal missions or on the shooting range. But guys, Vigilance will not go away if the enemies hit your bonus armor. A huge shout out to Mr. Magic. He showed me this way. I thought I saw it before, but I thought it was a glitch. I thought it was a bug. Okay, the Vigilance just won't go away off my screen. I still don't have that 25% weapon damage, but it is there, guys. I tested it out again because Mr. Magic hit me up. Bro, you definitely need to test it out. I tested it out again, and indeed, the Vigilance won't go away if your bonus armor gets hit. So this is why I'm using the Vigilance on here. Extra bonus armor from the chest, of course, bringing it up to that 100%. So you almost always have that Vigilance active, and this is just a straight up beam machine, guys. Believe me, this is the LMG build that you want to rock, especially with the combination of Heartbreaker. There are a lot of ways to build out this Heartbreaker gear set, but I'm in love with the full red builds, like you saw with my Kingstopper build, and now with the Darebreaker build. Full reds and just shredding through enemies while still having that survivability of 100% bonus armor. Let's head over to the stats real quick. I almost have the 50% critical hit chance. I only need to optimize that last 0.9% on my backpack. Same for the critical hit damage. This can go up to that 100% critical hit damage. And then we have the 85% headshot. But that's pretty much it, guys. These are all my stats. And of course, this was my whole build. You definitely need to test out this Darebreaker. And if you want a very nice AR, almost the same build as this, maybe a little bit more survivability, then hit up my Kingstopper build. It is a straight up beast as well, and the ARs on this game are so fun to play with. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hit me up in the comments down below. How would you run this build? Are there any changes that you would make? Would you go for damage to targets out of cover instead of the damage to armor, for example? Missing that 8% damage to armor and missing that extra 10% LMG damage. How would you build this build? I would love to know. There are so many ways to make this build powerful, but in my opinion, this is one of the best ways if you want to rock a full red build with the Heartbreaker gear set. But again, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribers button. And of course, the notification bell. PurePrime out.